Alright, how's it going? Yeah, we just want to make videos and put them on YouTube. Sometimes these videos might be like really stupid. I have hiccups, sorry.
What we have here today is a blowhorn.
But we got good news, guys. We're coming back.
If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Yo, if you call the police, ask them if they could join the Logan. Now realizing why they tried to arrest me last time. Oh boy. Oh my God.
Alright, see you.
Hey! What's up, Logan?
In March 2017, one of Vine's most notorious superstars greeted a crowd of screaming children from atop his $1 million apartment.
I'm gonna set this up. I want to get you guys some socks. Yeah.
But he didn't plan to just give the kids free socks. Unbeknownst to his fans, Logan Paul had devised a plan to prank his most loyal supporters into thinking their favorite influencer just got assassinated in front of them. I'm not making this up. Explaining at the beginning of the vlog how he wanted to mess with his fans waiting across the street, Logan clarifies the Low Gang is about to witness his murder. The 14-minute video features Logan and his band of cronies buying a $70 prop shotgun and setting up a fake blood sprayer behind a giant window where all his fans can get a clear view of what they think are Logan Paul's final moments. After publishing an Instagram story where he says there's a maniac in his building, Logan can be seen thinking up all the other ways to make the stunt seem as real as possible.
The murder is real. Oh! You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hold my fake vlog camera so they think I'm just vlogging them instead of like waving and stuff. Let's get some Maverick socks for the low gangsters. Yo! Oh, he's coming!
As he steps toward the window, vlog camera in hand, a masked man brandishing the shotgun approaches Logan from behind before shooting him in the back point blank. Blood splatters all over Logan and the window as our man slumps against the glass and slides to the floor. At Logan's direction, his friend props him up one last time, making sure the kids can get a good look at their hero's bloodied corpse. Shrieks of confusion and disbelief ripple across the crowd of preteens, unable to process what they just saw before Logan gets back up to address the audience once more.
Alright, here we go. Hey! I'm okay! You guys, did you believe it? I think it's like a mix of like yes and no.
He assures them he's fine and that he's on his way to meet them across the street after he washes off all the fake blood. After all, it was just a prank, right? But for your judgment to be so clouded by the chase for fame and riches that you would fake your own violent death in front of the ones who love and support your content the most, you'd need to be a special type of deranged. You'd need to be one of the Paul brothers, men who have spent their entire lives chasing numbers on a screen to add to an infinite pool of wealth. Just this video alone garnered Logan a grand 23 million views before he inevitably took it down. When it comes to the Pauls, branding is everything. And ever since that fateful day in a Japanese forest, you could say Logan has made it his mission to appear as changed as possible on the surface. But what happens when you peer a little deeper into the void? Do you find a truly changed man, or just the same soulless clout goblin who would abandon all morals for a crumb of attention? I'm assuming you know the answer.
Logan Paul was caught with his pants down, exposed for one of the largest scams ever run by an influencer.
Join me in documenting a multi-million-dollar grifter that never seems to change no matter how much he wants us to think he has. audience.
It just seems to me like he's always looking for the next quick buck at the expense of his audience.
Pretty much exemplary. No clickbait, no nothing. Logan Paul is just not to be trusted, period.
In the ultimate prank on humanity, Logan Alexander Paul was born on April Fool's 1995 in Westlake, Ohio. Raised by Pamela and Gregory Paul alongside his younger brother Jake, who you may or may not potentially have possibly heard of.
We've done a lot of dumb things. This is the dumbest thing we've ever done.
As much as I'd love to tear into both these goofballs, I only have enough patience to cover one scam artist at a time, so I'll have to pace myself. Growing up outside of Cleveland, Logan's outgoing personality was bound to land him in front of a camera at some point. By 10 years old, he had already picked up a hobby of photography, which evolved into making videos in his early teens, uploading archaic vlogs of their sports teams to YouTube in the very early days of the site. But nothing truly caught the attention of family and friends until they began shooting funny little sketches and pranks.
We are going to test it out right now. It's pretty loud.
These early videos were posted to a couple joint channels the boys shared by the names of Zoosh and L-Dog and J-Slice, which you can still find remnants of all these years later. For the most part, these videos consisted of a preteen Logan filming whatever wacky concept popped into his still developing brain. Looking back, it's not hard to see Logan's personality shaping into the one we know today.
Can I have an order of some? With,
Sorry, what's that?
an order of some.
Okay.
Can I have
How many of those would you like?
3?
3 of a some what?
What?
What was that again?
An order of... Wait, I'm not done though.
Okay.
Can I have a drink, what's that called again?
After a couple years of finding his footing, Logan launched a solo channel, the official Logan Paul, in 2013 to showcase the 6-second clips he had been posting to Vine the past several months.
That was a close one.
Reaching over 40 million active users by August 2013, the potential to make a name for yourself with just a 6-second snippet of your life was unprecedented. And such an ultra-short format demanded the exact type of irreverent, fast-paced humor Logan and his brother had been unknowingly practicing for years. As soon as the app launched, the two made it a competition to see who could gain the most followers, prompting Logan to join a contest hosted by Virgin Mobile. Using their hashtag #HappyAccidents, Logan was able to expand his Vine following exponentially, taking him from around 100 followers at the beginning of the summer to 1 million by September. Just like that, videos of himself bothering employees at Kroger and sniffing random women in public had placed him among the top creators on the app. I won't subject you to too much of his Vines since most of it's just... But he fully embraced the immature, disrespectful man-child persona from the start. Probably because he is an immature, disrespectful man-child.
Attention ladies on the plane, my name is Logan Paul. I'm single and ready to mingle. I'm up near the cockpit in case anyone...
But it wasn't until a compilation of his most popular Vines reached 4 million views the first week it was posted to YouTube that Logan told his school newspaper that he saw potential for himself in the entertainment world. He never stayed past his freshman year at Ohio University for a variety of reasons, partly having to do with his new popularity giving him the chance to work with a number of mainstream brands. Shortly after dropping out of college, Logan could be seen doing promo for Just Dance, Dunkin' Donuts, Hanes, and many other companies who were more than willing to cut him a generous check, even making it onto an episode of Law & Order SVU, bizarrely enough.
Say it again! Drop that gun! Okay, got it.
By the mid-2010s, his clout was exploding. For better or for worse, people everywhere were talking about Logan's content. His army of low gangsters, as he called them, paved the way for his account to hit 9.4 million followers by late 2016. Even his pet Maverick the Parrot had a sizable Instagram account. Logan was proving even back then that if you had the numbers, you had leverage. Everything was downstream of getting as many Vine loops as possible, until the game changed.
What's up? up, Internet? My name is Logan Paul, and I am reporting live from Vine Street. Today we are going around asking some of Vine's biggest creators how they feel about their platform being killed off like a chicken at McDonald's. Let's go!
If you ask me, plenty of missteps factored into Vine's inevitable death. But the biggest of all was that nobody was getting paid. Seriously, you could be getting tens of millions of views a month and never see a single penny. So when the biggest Viners realized they could just take their massive audiences elsewhere, Vine's fate was sealed. They had competition with YouTube AdSense, but were evidently not willing to compete. Without a sustainable business model that worked for their creators, Vine had no choice but to suspend all services on January 17th, 2017. By that point, plenty of massive ex-Viners were already well on their way to becoming some of the biggest accounts on Instagram and fastest growing channels on YouTube. One of the most notable, of course, being
What is up, people of the internet? My name is Logan Paul, and welcome to my vlog channel. That's right, I'm vlogging now. You get to see more of me. Sick, right?
Logan kicked off his vlogging career on September 12th, 2016, with a trip to the music festival Burning Man. The 16-minute two-part series essentially laid the groundwork for what fans could come to expect for Logan's new channel. Daily uploads consisting of whatever new adventure Logan was embarking upon that day. His early vlogs featured appearances from other top creators and his lovely, very likable family.
Man, what's up with you? Jake Drake? And I'm Drag.
Even a few A-list celebrities made some cameos here and there.
Don't do that. Give it back.
No, I don't think so, bro.
At this point, Logan was also tapped to star as the main character in the YouTube Red original movie, The Thinning, a science fiction teen dystopian drama that I'm sure is great. You couldn't pay me to watch it, but it sure as shit can't be as bad as Logan's solo movie.
Don't be so naive. Please, my name is Penis.
As per usual with daily vlogging, Logan was constantly needing to up the stakes to keep his audience watching, which for the most part were actual babies. If you watch just a couple seconds of any of these vlogs, you can tell Logan deliberately geared his content towards a much younger demographic. From the editing to the way he spoke, the colors, the titles. I mean, this stuff must have been crack for middle schoolers, which makes it only slightly awkward when you have videos like my boy hooked up with my mom. I can barely say that with a straight face.
Oh, you called?
Yes, I did.
Ready?
Yes.
But first, a word from our beautiful sponsor, Raycon. Raycon provides premium audio at the perfect price, whether you're looking for everyday earbuds, low latency gaming headphones, or a speaker with incredible battery life. Because Raycons start at just half the price of other premium audio brands, you can try out all these wonderful items without breaking the bank. With 8 hours of playtime, 3 customizable sound profiles, water resistance, and noise isolation, it's no wonder Raycon's everyday earbuds boast over 50,000 5-star reviews. I personally use mine to edit these videos and watch vlogs from YouTubers I can't stand, because I love torturing myself. Raycons make listening that much more enjoyable, thanks to their super soft custom gel tips that deliver a comfortable in-ear fit. Coming in a variety of slick colors, you're bound to find the perfect pair for you by clicking the link in the description or visiting buyraycon.com/jobry to get 15% off your order today. It's a good way to help the channel, but if they somehow aren't for you, Raycon offers a free return guarantee, because more than anything, they want you to feel good about your purchase. Huge thanks again to the generous people over at Raycon for sponsoring. Appreciate their help as always.
The health thing alone was like, bro, I drove myself to sickness. Like once a month I was sick. He came over to do a writing session with me, and I knew he was sick. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, you should be like just relaxing. And I'll never forget, he's recording and his nose just starts pouring blood. And I'm like, oh fuck. And he literally just goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Wipes it, goes right back into it like nothing just happened. And I was like, yo, you're sick.
Bro, I would get nosebleeds. I would throw up. Fucking, my health suffered immensely.
Logan was driving himself to literal sickness over content that included riding a model like a bike during a dehumanizing music video shoot that made the woman reportedly feel like her legs were about to give out. Or the time he and famous good guy Sam Pepper took to the streets and started lassoing women on camera, only letting them go if they gave them a kiss. Or what about the time, actually, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. One of his more popular videos to gain attention at this time was when he fixed his color blindness by throwing on a pair of special color correcting lenses and staring into the sun.
Okay, I'm about to put on these glasses that are gonna cure my color blindness for the first time in my life.
With such a clearly fake reaction coupled with the cliche sad music in the background, the video was picked apart by commentary channels and laughed at by basically everyone on YouTube.
I became very emotional after watching that video.
I went on Social Blade and I was moved. It felt like seeing colors for the first time on Social Blade.
Right. The primary color being green.
But it wasn't for another year that Logan finally admitted to embellishing things.
Some dude named H3 was just roasting, and I was new to YouTube. I didn't know anything. I was just a Vine kid, and so we made this colorblind video, which I've said this before. I am colorblind, but the video was incredibly embellished. So I put on these glasses. Bro, no change.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
the sky was zero, and I had a moment in my mind. I was like, we're at the Getty Museum. I have to fake this. So I was like, I put my acting chops to work.
The music comes in.
The music comes in. You're a motherfucker.
I'd have made it the most melodramatic thing ever.
While he is actually colorblind, unable to see green and red color pigments, the glasses did nothing, and his reaction was entirely hyped up for the tens of millions of views he got. Because Logan didn't care if people knew it was fake. He didn't care if people made fun of it. Logan cared about the hundreds of thousands of dollars that came from having such a viral moment captured on tape. He relished in the articles it generated, the debate it sparked. Logan at this time wasn't setting out to be some saint always true to his word. He was an actor, concerned with becoming the biggest entertainer in the world. And he was fine with making a few critics mad in the process. It didn't matter if he were liked, just as long as he was being talked about, and most importantly, making money. And in order to do both of those things effectively, he decided to be a jackass.
Oh, what the? Oh, what the? I want to thank you for inventing the theory of relativity. Hey, Ella, hey, mi amigo, arigato, konnichiwa. What, bro? Do you even know? Brandon, look, dog, dude, we are 9,000 subscribers away from hitting 10 million subscribers in 1 year of vlogging. Not even, in 340 days.
The year he crossed 10 million subscribers was also the same year diss tracks were taking over the platform. Thanks in part to his little brother Jake bursting onto the scene, Logan was making more money than ever before with their fake beef, an ear-piercing diss track on Santa Claus, and a new series of travel vlogs he named Adventures in Tokyo. You know where I'm going with this. Deciding to take a trip to Japan in late 2017, Logan and his friends were determined to use their vacation to Asia as a gold mine of new content. And none of it has aged well.
Thanks for letting me touch your dog. Okay. Tokyo!
In Japan, Logan made sure to kick his annoying frat boy persona into high gear, being obnoxious in traditional Japanese clothing because it's funny or something.
How far can we take this?
In the video Kicked Out of Japan, Logan can be seen running, screaming through a market before washing his hands with holy water from a temple on account of holy water being for people who are real pieces of shit in life. No idea what that's supposed to mean.
No, you're gonna light on fire, bro. That's okay. My spirit's being cleansed. Just for if you're a real piece of shit in life. So if you look behind me, this is where you throw coins into the well. I wish for health, happiness, and hella bitches.
Or maybe you want to watch We Fought in the Middle of Tokyo, where Logan makes a mockery of martial arts in the middle of the street as people are trying to get to work, jumping out and scaring people at loading docks by hiding in the back of their trucks. Then there's Real Life Pokemon Go in Tokyo, catching strangers, where instead of summarizing what happens, I'll just show you.
Honey, get him. Oh, you've been caught. Wake up, we got trouble with the cost and merch to sell. Toyota, I choose you. No.
Yep, as if laying in front of cars and running around town waving dead fish in people's faces wasn't enough, we haven't even gotten to the paramount moment of the trip. A very notable installment of the Logan Paul Japanese saga uploaded on December 31st, 2017. Now, I remember the day this video came out, and I actually watched it over on his channel before it got taken down. The video was not only live for over 24 hours, but even trended on the main trending tab before anyone really asked any questions, which means the millions of kids within Logan Paul's audience at the time didn't think it was bad to film a dead person. But once the news trickled outside of his core fan base, it was all over. Logan was met with some of the most severe backlash I think I've ever seen towards one specific YouTuber at once, which for good reason, obviously. This guy was getting bodied by Jesse Pinkman and the Queen of Winterfell, for God's sake. That's how bad this was. Even my parents learned the name Logan Paul thanks to an SNL skit.
Already auditioning candidates, got some prospects. Logan Paul.
As expected, the entire YouTube community took up arms against the guy they finally had a good excuse to hate. I don't think there was a single person defending Logan Paul over the age of 6, but that didn't stop him from putting out one of the worst Notes app apologies I've ever read to this day. Dear internet, I didn't do it for views, I get views. I did it because I thought I could make a positive ripple on the internet. I've made a 15-minute TV show every single day for the past 460 plus days. I love everyone. I believe in people. Peace. Hashtag Logang for life. Somehow that piece of shit got over 100,000 likes, but regular people still weren't buying it.
That's a hard thing to do, is even like hard talking about it right now with you, because up until that point in my life, it was really only wins. It was only success. It was only consistent growth.
Logan's second apology, this time in the form of a video, remains one of the most disliked YouTube videos to date. Not necessarily because of what he said, as this time he actually apologized to the individuals he should have mentioned in his previous statement, but more so how it all came across. Despite his best efforts, people still didn't believe his sincerity, and the apology kind of became a meme after that. I mean, whether he was genuine or not, it still came across like a hostage video.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
The fucking thing was even monetized for a bit. I mean, how can you blame someone for not buying this video? He kept it short though, and at the very least told his fans to stop defending him. After all, he wasn't losing subs, he was gaining them. The negative press didn't seem to hurt him too bad. Not even YouTube did much to punish him. All they did was cancel, postpone his next movie and remove him from the Preferred Partners program, which I didn't even know was a thing until making this video. Apparently, he was pulling in so many views that YouTube allowed him to get paid more money than the rest of us by being a preferred partner. But when shit hit the fan, they kicked him back down to just regular partner.
Google Preferred dropped you from their service. Yeah. Do you think that that was fair of them to do?
I understand that they needed to take a stance, and while I don't necessarily maybe agree with it, I do respect it.
Gee, how is he gonna make it by without all that extra money, I wonder? The only good thing to come out of this whole disaster was his next video, where he did make an attempt to at least give the spotlight to people with a closer connection to the subject. It, at the very least, exposed a more positive and impactful message to millions of people, and I have to give credit where credit is due. But judging by his next upload 10 days later, it didn't seem like he really learned much.
After the disgraced YouTuber has been spotted across the country, hiding his face from paparazzi and seen swallowing his tears on social media like a little baby backpack.
Oh, hold up, disgraced? What you mean disgraced, boy? I took a break. Besides, I'm still lit as f***. What other YouTuber you know can take a 3-week break and still gain 1 million subscribers? Boy!
It still felt like a joke to him. Also, it did not help that he made headlines again for tasering a rat corpse not even a month after the forest incident. Like, why was he even doing this? He even made fun of his reputation as a controversial YouTuber in a bizarre Fox News interview.
Just so you know, I am an ex-controversial YouTuber. That's it's no longer me.
I know that.
If I'm being quite honest with you, I'm the fastest YouTuber. I'm the fastest
fastest entertainer on the planet. I could be
talking about running.
Running. I could be the quickest man on the planet.
You
I'm
do
everywhere,
Instagram?
baby. I'm I'm everywhere, and I'm nowhere. I'm like a ghost. And I'm betting $100,000 that I'm the fastest man on the planet. I'm the fastest man on the planet. Yeah, but I will say my expenses just surpassed my income for the first time ever. I just sat with my financial manager. He told me that. Like I'm definitely going downhill from here.
Did that make you nervous?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm terrified. I think it's the beginning of the end. I'm uncomfortable with myself, you know?
Come on.
I also have pink eye. It's not contagious.
But talk
No,
to
it
me
is.
about...
There's a 2-week incubation period. I'm
Okay,
so sorry. But yeah.
He just wasn't mature enough to take anything seriously. And it would be a while before he could truly rebuild his reputation in a way that mattered. But he sure wasn't going anywhere anytime soon.
I'm sure you've heard, fight has been confirmed, the contract has been signed. August 25th, London, I am officially fighting KSI. Is it gonna be a fight though? Shots fired. I'm not gonna underestimate the kid, right? I'm taking it very, very...
Influencer boxing had been heating up since fall 2017, escalating when Joe Weller was beat by fellow British personality KSI in a highly publicized match in February 2018. In a post-fight interview streamed live to over 20 million people, KSI made the following call-out.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls, I don't care.
Which came as no surprise given how Logan and by extension Jake had become the most hated people, not just in America, but on the entire internet. Jake was put on the undercard to fight KSI's younger brother Deji, while Logan stepped up to accept KSI's challenge. As we know from prior instances, Logan considers all press good press, and by then his reputation was at its lowest point ever. He could certainly stand to benefit from some media attention that wasn't just, hey, remember that vlog that guy did? Regardless, everyone on the planet anticipated seeing these two dudes completely knocked on their heads. Except Jake, of course, beat Deji, and Logan's match went to a completely underwhelming tie, which turned into a rematch the next year where we finally got that satisfying ending. The event kicked off a trend of influencer fighting that's both revived boxing and generated a fuck ton of money. But most importantly, it's helped keep Logan in the public eye. He didn't just fade into the woodwork, he was on everyone's screens. Again. From there, he continued pumping out vlogs as his channel surpassed 20 million subscribers. He made sure to effectively use the attention he was already getting to his advantage, culminating with the launch of his popular weekly podcast, Impulsive, which is a pretty smart name, I have to say. Logan Paul sought to usher in a newer, more subdued side of his personality. From the beginning, the show was always meant to be a deviation from his high-energy, child-guided vlogs and sought to capitalize on an older demographic capable of listening to more nuanced, multifaceted discussions.
No! Alex, stay still. Ladies and gentlemen. There it is.
But joking aside, not everything on this show was blatantly unwatchable. Over the course of hundreds of episodes and an impressively wide ensemble of guests, Logan did occasionally demonstrate some actual depth and social awareness that we hadn't previously seen from him.
We are all incredibly unaware of how deeply intertwined the ugly roots of racism have embedded themselves in the foundation of this country. 13th Amendment. There is a criminality clause conveniently nestled in that amendment that says, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States. I will not be a part of a generation that is written on the wrong side of history, and I will not stand by as my fellow humans are brutally and unjustifiably murdered at the hand of the state or any oppressor.
To be completely honest, this podcast existing did way more for Logan's redemption arc than any other content he put out post-Japan.
I will always love him, but I don't always like him. He's my brother, he's my family, he's my blood. Sometimes I do not understand why he does the things he does, as I'm sure he feels the same way about me from time to time.
The boxing match definitely helped, but without this podcast, I don't think we would have even considered Logan to have changed at all.
Back in the day, the idea was just flex, show people how great I am, be a cocky, confident, arrogant, loud, boisterous prick, and draw attention. It was like shock value was the way to break into the homes of millions of people through the internet.
You were a cartoon character at one point. Would you say that?
Yeah, for sure. Bro, both Jake and I were. Are you kidding me? There's no such thing as a more quintessential villain than the fucking 2017 Paul brothers. Like, what were we doing?
I was convinced for a little while that the maturity Logan seemed to display during these episodes might be here to stay. Maybe he had truly reflected enough on his years of constant insanity to have become a better person looking to make an actual positive impact on the massive community he cultivated. Wait, what? Oh, what the fuck? What? Okay, I guess I was horribly mistaken.
At the end of the day, this is a fraudulent practice, all right? In a lot of cases to be pushing onto your fan base. A lot of these law enforcement agencies should look at Logan Paul.
See, at the end of the day, behind all the smoke and mirrors of impulsive, Logan was still quietly creeping back into his old ways, unbeknownst to most of the general public. And it happened kind of slowly too. For example, when he began regularly opening wildly expensive Pokemon cards on stream, the dude he hired to be his Pokemon card dealer, collectibles guru, had a pretty known reputation of being a shady figure in the Pokemon community. Now, I don't know anything about the Pokemon community, but considering nobody seems to really revere him as a qualified source of information, and the fact that he admitted to pocketing millions of dollars from Logan's now infamous cryptozoo scam in 2022, I wouldn't be so quick to trust him. But Logan did, which should have been setting off some alarm bells, especially by the time he began shilling crypto coins in 2021. And as we know from literally countless examples, when the word celebrity is used in the same sentence as cryptocurrency, it's never a good thing. Thanks to the severe lack of regulation within the crypto space, countless influencers have been able to intentionally mislead and steal money from their fans with blatant pump and dump schemes. One of the most popular ways to do that is by promoting the hell out of a shitcoin, a cryptocurrency with no utilization whatsoever, to drive up the value. Once the value goes up, the influencer can sell their share of their tokens for a huge profit and leave their fans holding the bag. It's a tale as old as time and should certainly be investigated by the SEC. But in the meantime, in March 2022, crypto scam investigator Zach XBT published a Twitter thread with evidence of Logan's alleged involvement in a multitude of crypto pump and dump schemes beginning in May 2021. By tracking his publicly available Web3 activity, Zach was able to deduce that Logan promoted a coin by the name of Elongate to his private club of Maverick members. So in other words, his most devoted fans who actually pay for a closer connection to Logan.
It's all good. Elongate made me rich. Elongate, baby. Let's go. Elongate token.
After hyping up the Elon coin in a video leaked on May 10th, Logan allegedly dumped his shares on May 17th, walking away with a $112,000 payday before it crashed. That's sort of fucked up, but he'd do it again and again when he plugged another crypto coin immediately after, this time on his public Twitter page. Not financial advice. God, I'm gonna get violent. According to the screenshots, Logan bought the coin right before his tweet went out and sold 12 hours later for a net profit of $116,000. You can kind of see a trend here. The Twitter page for this particular coin hasn't been active for over a year, so he's clearly not doing it for anything other than money. If this was really a project he believed in, he wouldn't have sold 12 hours after telling us he believed in it. Then, by the time Logan's cash grab of a fight with Floyd Mayweather rolled around that summer, Logan was paid in free crypto tokens by the company Emax, which he then turned around and sold for an easy $70,000. It's worth noting here that of course Emax is its own scam that's been involved in 2 lawsuits to date, so no idea how they even became a sponsor, but that's another story, I guess. All of this led up to Logan's then most prevalent scam, Dink Doink, which I've actually talked about on the channel before, but in light of what's happened since, it's wild that he ever got away with it. To further avoid accountability, he tried to say the Dink Doink mascot was the one who invented the coin, as if that makes any sense. In no surprise to anyone, despite all of Logan's forced promo for this thing, Dink Doink fell flat on its face. The Twitter page hasn't been active for a year, and the domain name is currently up for grabs. Gee, it would really suck if someone bought it and uploaded this photo to it. God, I would really hate that. The most egregious part of all of this was that we had to suffer through these painfully unfunny skits that half-assedly ripped off South Park for some reason.
Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Want you to dink on my face, take a doink on my chest. Yeah,
I don't know, that whole time felt like a fever dream. But little did we know then that Dink Doink was only setting the stage for a more sinister grift that stole millions of dollars from hardworking investors who made the fatal error of trusting Logan Paul.
He's like, I actually do have a project, excited to announce it. It's called cryptozoo. It's a fun game. They called it a fun game that earns you money. They're going to sell you these two things. Eggs is NFT, and then there's a coin aspect to it. The eggs will then hatch into animals that will earn passive zoo tokens. Does that make sense?
No. Immediately following the backlash from Dink Doink, Logan bizarrely decided to fling himself into a new project that for sure this time wouldn't be a scam like all the other ones. Instead of a shitcoin, Logan was going to try his hand at NFTs, an NFT game to be exact. And just in case you thought this was just like any other NFT pyramid scheme where you throw your hard-earned money into a void in exchange for a shitty JPEG of a cartoon lion, Logan assured on multiple occasions that this was something different.
Doug, I'm not the fucking bad guy here.
Yeah.
There's some actual fuckers out there.
Yeah.
And it's not me. Like, I'm here to build, to be an honest builder.
Logan cares extremely deeply about his audience, loves his brand, doesn't have to fucking scam to make money.
I know what I'm building. I know I have a good heart. I know where my head's at. I know I've fucked up a lot, but I've learned from all of it.
Ideally, you would buy their in-game cryptocurrency, Zoo. They could be used to purchase NFT eggs, which you could then trade or hatch into animals to be bred with other animals to create your own god-awful abominations. So you could breed a panda with an elephant to form a panda-elephant hybrid. Exciting. But the rarer an animal is, the more Zoo tokens it's worth, and ultimately the more you can sell it for in the end. The idea is that you should be able to make money off these stupid images. One of the major pulls was that cryptozoo came complete with its own set of original handmade artwork. If one Google image reverse search didn't reveal that to be absolute bullshit too.
We handmade art for the past 6 months, bro. Approval, very specific notes, 10 different artists making art for our project. A development team that has to be wizards.
See, because Logan assumes everyone around him is an idiot, guess he thought he could mash together already existing Adobe stock photos and pass them off as original work without people knowing. It's a weird thing to lie about, but who am I to expect anything from this guy? If repurposing stock photos was the worst part of this entire project, I don't think it would be that big of a deal. But wouldn't you believe it, cryptozoo, the brand new trailblazing NFT project that Logan promised you could make money from, doesn't work. Never has, probably never will. This damning discovery was of course made by the SEC of YouTube, CoffeeZilla, who spent over a year meticulously picking apart Logan's hilariously convoluted scheme, only to expose it to the world in late 2022 through a 3-part series garnering nearly 20 million collective views and some embarrassing responses from Logan, which we'll get into in a bit. Coffee's investigation highlighted cryptozoo's disappointing launch day, which resulted in people who paid with Ethereum unable to even open the eggs they had already purchased. See, despite over $2.4 million worth of cryptozoo eggs being sold on the first day Logan announced what they were working on, people couldn't actually play the game when it finally launched. They couldn't access it, making the value of Zoo plummet within 24 hours of going live. This obviously raised questions from people who sank tens, if not hundreds of thousands into the project they were told would make them money.
I'm excited to launch my game.
You keep using and you just did it again. You keep using a word there. Game. You're not using like a project. It's a game.
It's a game. It's a really fun game that makes you money. Makes you money.
But instead of Logan or anyone addressing what was going on, they were all silent. Logan quit promoting it and never commented on it again. Instead, he moved on to another NFT project.
I came up with an idea. 99 originals. It'll be 99 photos that I take every day over the course of 99 days.
An artistic journey, actual art.
I can't stop thinking. It's the only thing I care about.
Each picture is an NFT. It all ties to my entire life.
Like, what happened to cryptozoo, Logan? Logan, what happened? Come on.
I'll tell you about this project when we get closer to launch. This project of mine is going to be...
Is that the thing with the egg? Like the zoo?
No.
Okay, this
one's gonna be this will be the craziest I've ever done.
I guess Logan was ultimately hoping people would just forget the massive investments they made. But I mean, Coffee talked to these people and it's not like they lost chump change.
I lost around $50,000 in cryptozoo.
I lost $40,000. I lost around $15,000 US.
I lost $25,000.
$120,000.
$500,000 Australian, which is $500,000 in cryptozoo.
Shut up! No, you haven't.
Yeah, 500K.
Logan had some explaining to do, along with the rest of his team, who consisted of Logan's manager, Pokemon Boy from earlier, and a pathological liar who embellished his entire resume, lying that he once helped the NFL, went to MIT, worked for the government, and was an orphan. Weird stuff to lie about, and even weirder for Logan's manager to still hire him, despite being warned of his dubious background.
I confronted him about some of Eddie's lies, including how he didn't work for the NFL. Jeff told me he doesn't know much about the NFL, but he knows about the business world, and so Jeff and Logan were going to continue working with him.
And as Coffee spoke to more people involved with the project, things began to look even more concerning. I'd suggest you watch his full series since it goes way more in depth than what we'll be covering today, but to summarize, Coffee was eventually given leaked screenshots of Logan and friends organizing cryptozoo from the start. And if you read through all of these messages, it's blatantly clear that they didn't care about anything other than making themselves richer. But we already knew that was the case. Logan and his manager actually held on to their coins, but Collectibles Guru and the pathological liar we mentioned earlier made millions at the expense of the people Logan promised would be able to play the game. They couldn't, and some got entirely fleeced. Logan has since promised to refund these victims as a part of a 3-step plan he announced after Coffee's video, which is good if it happens, but it's also important to note that Logan would 100% not have done any of that had he not been criticized relentlessly by multiple huge personalities. And we know this because of Logan's first horrific response to Coffee, where he apologizes for nothing and attempts to absolve himself completely of any wrongdoing without actually providing any counter arguments to Coffee's points.
Like many on this platform, you have successfully used my name for views and money. While your work used to be impartial, your addiction to clicks has clouded your judgment and you've made very real errors with very real repercussions. Coffee, you took—
That's a bold statement. Do you have anything to back that up, Logan? Spoiler alert, no.
Logan was more interested in digging himself into an increasingly deeper hole. For example, when Coffee interviewed cryptozoo developer Zach Kelling, who claimed to have not been paid for his work, Logan responded with, "Oh, that guy? Yeah, he's actually a criminal, and so is this guy. Basically, I hired a bunch of criminals to make this prized game I supposedly care a lot about."
He spent time in prison for multiple felonies, who has turned out to be a professional con man, fooled billionaires, the Mormon Church, the owner of the New York Yankees, and now me.
Which really isn't the greatest defense in the world. If you're saying these people can't be trusted, why did you hire them? Did you vet them before?
I guess that's what I get for trusting the team that I relied on to vet and manage Eddie's hiring process.
Oh, right, yeah, that was somebody else's job, not you. Just because there are multiple guilty parties here, it doesn't make Logan innocent, who was rightfully called out for overseeing such a disastrous project that he didn't seem to want to fix, according to the victims.
Everybody has a big part and a massive cross to bear.
Each one of them scammed the project in their own way.
It was his job to check the team, to make sure that everyone is working together, to make sure that he is giving the funds of the people that put it into his project under his name to people that he actually trusts. If the team failed to perform, that's Logan Paul to blame.
Remember, it's only after he'd been called out that he claimed to be working on bringing the game back to life. A year of radio silence followed by sloppy, angry responses due to a massively publicized series of exposés doesn't make it seem like you're acting out of the goodness of your heart. It's a PR move. You know you're a bad scammer when even Andrew Tate is dunking on you.
So what is your view on that whole cryptozoo situation? Because CoffeeZilla is doing an investigation at the moment and it is quite gripping, isn't it?
The dude's a clown. He's a person who doesn't care about his fans. He just wants to make as much money as possible off the back of people who watch him. Logan's obviously a brokey.
Logan then decided to invite Coffee onto Impulsive to hash things out in person, though he didn't include how Coffee had already invited him onto his show.
It's like a little gnat. It's like a little fucking annoying gnat. It bothers me.
I wonder why the dude doesn't want to fly out there, Logan. Logan even threatened legal action before realizing there was no other route to take other than to make a weak apology over on a second channel and promise to correct the mistakes he made. While I still hope he follows through on this, it's been about 2 months at the time of me recording this, and he still has yet to pay anyone back, to my knowledge. It's ultimately important to remember this was something he really tried to get away with. For over a year, he thought he could just sweep it under the the rug and then make Coffee look like the bad actor, when in reality, the facts were always against him because he can't set his greed aside to not scam his fans for 2 seconds. I don't even really know why he did this. The guy is already making tens, if not hundreds of millions from other endeavors. It blows my mind to think he needs to resort to petty crypto scams to pay the bills, but I think it's mostly a testament to the person Logan is and has always been.
But what's the goal? I mean, bro, one word answer, money is a scoreboard. It's a game to me. Where do you rank on that scoreboard? You know, how many billionaires, how many self-made billionaires are there under 30? It can't be more than 10.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's cool. That's cool to me. How many kids will that inspire?
Now, when it comes to online crypto scams, the argument gets made that the full blame falls on those who were naive enough to invest. And while careful consideration and precaution should be taken before ever throwing your money at something influencer-backed, I don't particularly blame the fans, at least in the case of Logan Paul. It's not like he was selling, I don't know, MILF token. This was supposed to be far different than the other notorious crypto scams of the past. He was very clear about making that distinction. Even when it became apparent the project wasn't working, he still refused to do anything to make things better. He offered no transparency, effectively stringing his investors along with vague promises as he prepared for his next grift. If you ask me, Logan has not changed much since 2017. All he's really done is rebrand himself into a more trustworthy figure on the surface, only to betray that trust in a slimy attempt to line his pockets, even when it's at the expense of his biggest supporters. He doesn't care about you, and he doesn't even really care about the hate he gets, so long as enough of his core audience is still there to manipulate. Now, I'm a proponent of second chances. The occasional fuck up is normal and understandable, so long as you use it as an opportunity to reflect and grow. Learning from your past is fine, is part of being a human. But Logan threw all of that perceived growth out the window this past year, just for a couple dollars he would have already had if he had never done any of this. It's such a bizarre move, I just don't get it. He isn't worthy of your time, your trust, certainly not your money, and after so many failed chances to redeem himself, I wouldn't blame you if he wasn't worthy of your forgiveness. But some of the diss tracks still bang.
Keep on, keep on.